people who pay lower prices, like ask for discount, etc., they usually not our best customers in a way that they don't value it that much, or they don't even need that kind of product.
Welcome to the NeverEmployed Chat. My name is Sam, and I interview people who make a living beyond salary jobs, entrepreneurs, business owners, and investors, so that we can learn from their stories together. There are many great ways to make a living, and even more ways to wealth. At NeverEmployed, we encourage you to think of alternatives to employment jobs. What would you do if a salary job was simply no option? You've been working on your business or businesses for several decades, I think.
Yeah, you can say that. Our oldest customers are from 2005. We still have like a few people who joined, like started like buying our product, like 2004, 2005, and they still kind of like still buying something occasionally. Maybe they're not as active as, but most of our clients are like between 5 and 10 years like old.
So you're
active. They're more like the core. Yeah, I think the core of our client base is like between 5 and 10 years. And this is like when people, can bring the most value back to us, like referring other people, be knowledgeable, helping other people, and as well for them. So our products are kind of like complicated. So kind of like in a year or two, you just like starting to get there. And after 5 years, you're an expert. Yeah.
So,
But it depends on nature of the product, I guess. Some product, yeah, go ahead.
So how long have you been in business so far?
So I started doing this in 1998. So you can say it's almost 25 years. First it was I developed a free program, free software that would convert database to HTML. And I've been trying to sell it for quite a long time, and I retired it after maybe 10 years or so. It's never been like a huge success, but it taught me a bunch of things. And it helped me to launch my second product, then a third one. Things were like a little different back then. And feels like everything was moving much slower. Now you can do like a lot in 1 year that would take like probably 5 years back in the day.
And do you see this as an advantage, or is a fast-paced world rather an advantage or a disadvantage from your point of view?
It's advantage for those who can use it, I would say that. So if people understand how it works, if, I don't know, like for example, like on Twitter, not like really business like on a Twitter, if you post something that goes viral, right? In 1 day, like thousands of people will know about that. In the older days, I don't know, you post something in news group and it will take maybe like a year till like everyone will learn about something like it. Remember the thing, okay, Chat GPT, it's a great example, right? 5 days, 1 million users, right? 5 days. Or when that ship got stuck in the channel, so it's channel, right? Was it Evergreen or something? I think like in 24 hours, everyone heard about it. Like everyone who is active on the internet heard something about it. So it's really, really hard to imagine something like this happening 20 years ago, right? So yeah, but the point is you need to understand how to use it to your advantage.
So then your strategies back then were probably also quite different, right? So you also said that you've been basically working on a product and trying to sell it for like 10 years or so before you got some success.
Well, no, it was selling. So, but we just that first product, mostly because of that was the first experience for me. And I was in Russia at first. I didn't know English that much, and I didn't know marketing at all. And the number of resources available on the internet was also like scarce. So it just, I never raised it to the point where I can leave my day job. If I stayed in Russia, maybe, but I moved to United States in 1999, and I had to sell much more to be able to, like leave my day job. So yeah, but back in the day, okay, man, that was before Google. So SEO was kind of like non-existent, sort of, and there were like a bunch of websites, download archive. I don't know, like if you remember that there were Two Cows or download.com and a bunch of others. So you upload your software there, and you hope that people will download, and depending on how many people download it, it will rank higher and more people will download it. And that was pretty much it. That was like the main source, of like marketing kind of like. And yeah, I mean, if your software is good, people will tell other people. There were some websites like forums and everything. But yeah, it was different. There was like a few sources of where how people can find your product.
And maybe can you give a overview over your journey from back then, your products you've been working on until now, how it developed and how new products came?
So I moved here to United States in 1999, and I worked for Ericsson a little bit in Lynchburg, Virginia. It was a beautiful place, but a little strange for a software engineer because there was like basically just one place where you can work, just that factory. And after maybe like 6 or 8 months, they canceled the project, and I moved to Washington D.C. area. And yeah, so we worked, me and a bunch of my friends, we worked for a company named e-commerce industries, and we developed websites for selling office supplies. And our shop was like number 3 after Staples, and I don't remember Quail, like Office Depot or something. I mean, it was good. It was like 2000, before 2001, before the crisis. And I noticed that we develop mostly in ASP, classic ASP language, and noticed that very often, I have to do like the same thing over and over again. Like we develop a new database table, and manager comes to me and says, I need to be able to edit this table. I need to like crunch some numbers. I need to do something with it. I need to search, keyword, whatever. And I noticed that we're doing like the same thing over and over again. New table, you need to write all the code from the scratch over and over. So I came up with the idea. Wasn't a new idea. I've seen some software doing similar things, but I just wanted to do something on my own. I came up with the idea that software connects with database, extracts data about tables, fields, and builds some sort of a website for it, where so managers, instead of going directly to the database, they can break things. They have like nice interface to manage data in the database. And then I decided, okay, it's probably something that I can sell as well. And I started like making a commercial product based on that. And at some point, it just started working, like in a few months, I've been selling more software when I sold like in previous 5 years with my first program. That was it. So as soon as I was able to earn enough to leave my day job, I left it. I've been developing ever since. Interesting that first of all, it was the classic ASP, then it was ASP.NET, and then PHP. And now PhpRunner, our software is the main breadwinner. Like we probably 80% of sales coming from PhpRunner. But again, back in 2000, it was only geeks and system administrators used PHP, and was like there was a feeling that there is no money in selling PHP software. And I was wrong. I was wrong so many times. It was like one of the time I was wrong. Well, I mean, it worked okay. And they're doing this ever since. So we're still selling the desktop software. I'm trying to move to SaaS kind of thing, but it's not easy. And desktop software still makes a lot of sense for our customers. Many of them will not be allowed to use SaaS. They need to keep their data on their side and their server. So, I mean, it still makes sense. It just, it's very difficult, to pitch an idea to someone. Okay, we developed the desktop software, and would you tell your friends about it? And what's desktop software? I don't have a desktop at all. I have iPad, I have a phone, I have something. Right? It just it's different. It's different now. Nobody would develop desktop software now, but maybe it's playing to our advantage.
When I was on your websites and try to find a little bit about your products and find out how they work, what they actually are, I thought they were similar to those website builders which you have nowadays, I don't know, certain website builders for WordPress or Webflow or things like that.
Right.
How is that compared to these products?
To the best of my understanding, these builders are mostly for something that is static. So it's basically HTML plus some CSS, JavaScript, some nice things, maybe gallery with images, etc. But when it comes to working with databases or with data that you receive from other sources, REST APIs, etc., you need something different. So there are some no-code tools that do something similar, like Bubble. I don't know. I don't really study our competitors that much because there are too many of them these days. I just keep hearing the same name. Okay, Bubble, and they do that. But I believe that if you need something that is a little bit more sophisticated, more than just a prototype, but you need to build a real application. This is what our plans do. You need something that also allows you to add your own code. And this is where our software kind of shines. So if you think about it, there are probably three stages. So first level is something that website builder use in WordPress or Webflow, just to build a website, nothing really sophisticated. Then there are no-code tools, then low-code tools, and then obviously just software developer that can build you anything you want. Just going to be more expensive and gonna take more time. So we are on stage 3 out of 4 evolution of what you can build and still call it a website. So website is something that can mean so many different things. It can be a website just a business card, and it can be a website like Twitter, Facebook, eBay, something that is extremely complicated. Still a website.
Yeah, absolutely. So you earlier you mentioned that the sales back then compared to today, or the sales and marketing channels are different. So apart from these download websites you mentioned, did you have other sales channels when you started?
Not really. I mean, word of mouth, obviously, and sometimes someone would talk about the software in forums, but I'm really sure that download sites for the first maybe 5 years we were like kind of the only source. Then at some point, Google started playing a more and more important role. 2002, 2003. About the same time, there were paid ads introduced. There were Overture, I believe, was the company. Then they either rebranded or was bought by someone named GoTo. And then Google introduced their AdWords. And I've been using AdWords ever since till I stopped doing this last year. Yeah, I cannot believe it. Yeah, I used it for like 15 years and almost like 20 years. And last year I just closed my AdWords account. It's no longer working.
So just because nowadays you just get more and more customers from word of mouth, or what's the reason?
Yeah. Last just out of out of interest, like last year I calculated like how much money is coming from existing customers and how much is coming from new customers. So existing customers like just paying for renewal, which is like 25% of the new software price. But about 80% of our money every year is coming from existing customers, and only 20% from new customers. So technically speaking, if we want to, we can stop doing all marketing like altogether, and that won't make much difference. And by adding new services that can benefit our existing customers, we can like even grow, and just grow like because of like word of mouth. And it really works. It works in many unexpected ways. Like sometimes you find a connection between your customers that is like weird. And there was a person who contacted us right before they bought the software and said that they have like a bunch of friends, like 4 or 5 friends that have like a Skype channel where like ask all kind of technical questions to each other. And 3 other people were already our customers. So at some point, yeah, they converted him. So I didn't need to know him. I didn't even know, like I recognized those names, but I didn't even know they knew each other, etc. Right? So it was like, interesting. Like it was totally unexpected. But it worked. It worked.
Yeah, I think in another conversation you also mentioned that your customers are mostly like what today you would call high ticket customers, like and your products are in general more sophisticated, as you described earlier. Maybe you can just tell a little bit about how your products are structured, and also the pricing, and how from which sources you earn the most revenue, or how this comes together.
We have 2 editions of our product, professional and enterprise. And enterprise adds some features that are mostly useful for larger customers, not necessarily enterprises, but larger customers. Active Directory support or data encryption and things like that. And we just find out that you either need to sell cheap product and provide no support at all, or you need to sell something that is expensive, so the level of support you provide, so it's worth it. And since our product is highly technical and pretty close to programming itself, it makes more sense to sell something that is more expensive. And people who pay lower prices, like ask for discount, etc., they usually not our best customers in a way that they don't value it that much, or they don't even need that kind of product. It's just like, using your electronic microscope as a hammer. You can do that, but it doesn't make sense And even if you buy it at a great discount, so it sort of makes sense. But when it comes to renewal, so, oh my God, I need to pay this much again. And it just doesn't make any sense. So people who doing this for fun, hobbies, or like even non-profit organization that need to build something just once and forget about it, just not our best customers. You cannot do both. You can either do something like simple, but that doesn't require much support, or you need to do something that you can allow your customers build sophisticated applications, and you can handle like lots of hand holding and everything, and it works this way. So we just like find out like having a few like a smaller number of high paying customers, work for us. But again, we don't have our biggest customer probably about 4% of our total income. Like we have one customer, Fortune 100 company. It's just one guy actually. One guy in that company makes like 4% of our revenue. Just because he likes software that much and he has like good connection with his manager, with people who pay money, so he buys a lots of it and extended support, and he doesn't even like completely use it, but still he renews every year, and he's just a huge fan of our software. He knows that like any problem he has, like we will help him no matter what. So, but we don't want to have like a one large customer who like bring in like 25-30% of revenue, because if you lose this customer, you are in trouble. So luckily, most of our customers are like under 1% of our total revenue, which is fine. We can afford to lose one if something happens, if no longer need the software, or I don't know, find something that is better, or I don't know, retire something. Yeah, if you're in business for that long, people will definitely retire, move, sometimes even die.
Yeah, this actually sounds like a very healthy customer basis, or very healthy stream of revenue actually. And what you described before also sounds like, a lot of your work is focused on this support part. So you're doing a lot of active work and not even aiming to automate your whole business, or just like sell software automated, like lots of people try doing it with their SaaS software nowadays.
We tried to do that. We tried, and I found out like if we want to grow, we have to, be involved in like more active kind of support. Yeah, when I was starting, like it was like everyone's idea. There was like an expression, like a beach with an ATM. So you develop the software, you put it out there, people use it. Your website does all the sales, marketing, and everything, and maybe you get like a couple of support requests a week, and you're fine. You can keep developing your stuff. This is what developers want and like, right? And you can live in like in Thailand, or I don't know, like Vietnam, and be just fine. And I was trying to do that, and I found out that more complicated our software gets, it's like less likely to work this way. So it just helps that it have like a few people who are be able to handle customer requests. I usually do lots of customer support myself. Maybe I don't like it that much, like the level of involvement. I mean, I like helping people. It just like takes a lot of my time, but it's just not easy to replace myself. I would need 3 people at least. So it's gonna be difficult. But I'm trying to sort through initial requests, and when I understand that it's like too complex for me, I ask one of our developers to take a look and troubleshoot and everything. But if you want to grow, selling the software like ours, you need to be involved with more active customer support. Yeah. Actually, this year we will start like a new program where I will be holding live webinars and showing people how to do stuff, like showing some common techniques related to programming, web development, to our software. This is something like even like 5 years ago, I would never think about it because it just, it sounds like too much work. But it's only like maybe like 1 hour a week of the actual, like work. And you can do that. You can do your prep in your spare time. So it's not that much actually. And turns out lots of people express an interest and subscribe to this program. We haven't started yet. We're going to start it sometime in March. But it's something that I never thought of, like even a few years ago. Yeah. So it's kind of like people expect this. These days, people expect something that is more interactive. It's very different from 20, 25 years ago.
Do you also have any other plans for further development? Like, I mean, you said that you at some time implemented PHP after you started with ASP.NET. Are you thinking about like doing similar things for JavaScript or things like that? Does it even make sense?
Probably not at this point. I even think like we still support classic ASP, which is like extremely old technology. So Microsoft abandoned it basically in 1999. They released the latest update in 1999. ASP.NET still developed and it's pretty good. So we concentrate on PHP and ASP.NET. But at the new languages, like some people would ask, can you do same for Java? Or for JavaScript, for Node.js, for Python, for whatever, Ruby. Yeah. And it doesn't make much sense. Like people who code in Python are actually like developers, like hardcore developers. They are unlikely to use our software. So we will not increase our user base that much if we do that. And for most of people, the language itself is not like the main issue because you can do a lot without writing any code at all. And it's mostly like if your company is a Microsoft shop, then most likely you need ASP.NET. Not because you're going to write some code, but because it's like it will run on your servers without like any additional configuration. That's all. And so probably not. Probably no new languages are coming.
And then with your further plans, like for example with the seminars or other plans, is there any challenges you're facing? Anything where people may eventually help you?
I mean, this webinars, seminars things, it's just new for me, for us, the company, and I mean, it will take a little bit of time to figure this out. I mean, this is my first YouTube interview, right? So I bought a new camera, I bought a new microphone. I hope it works well. I don't know. So it's just a new area, kind of. I want to explore it. I want to see what works, what doesn't. So I'm pretty sure there will be challenges. I have no idea how I'm going to edit it, if at all, or just record it and put it out. Like, how much editing do you do?
Well, yeah, it differs actually depending on the interview and how fluent it works. But yeah, I think in your case, it would also depend on, do you even do live seminars, for example, would also be possible, right? And I think that's something.
We're thinking about live. We're thinking live, and like 45 minutes, me showing people how to do something, and maybe last 15, 20 minutes, like answering questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if it can be done interactive, I think we should like utilize this possibility as compared to just, like posting some, like we have a YouTube channel and we got lucky a few years ago, like one of our customers just started posting videos to YouTube. I found it, and like we are working on this together now, but he's doing all the like recording, editing. I'm just helping with the content. Like I suggest like what we can talk about, like maybe like convert some of our articles, do video format, etc. But he does it and he loves it, and I think he's great at it. He's from South Africa, and he's a little older. He speaks slow enough for most people to understand him, so it's perfect. It's just I love it. So I got like I mean I would have to start doing something on my own sooner, but I was able to avoid it doing any videos till now. So yeah, it's going to be challenging for me, but yeah,
that's
it should be fun. It should be fun.
yeah. I mean, challenges are an opportunity for growth, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a perfect opportunity. So for me, this year is getting involved with video content is the greatest challenge, the biggest opportunity as well.
So if there's someone who thinks that they could eventually help you, where can they find you and get in touch with you?
Well, they can find me on Twitter, for instance, PhpRunner. It's a weird name these days. Most people wouldn't know what PHP is, but okay. I mean, I've been there since 2009. I don't want to change it just because maybe one day. Or our website is also at Xlinesoft.com. I don't even, I hate to spell it even because most people would get it wrong. But again, I registered the domain name in 1999. So most of the software companies would have soft in their name back in the day. Some company rebranded. We just keeping it as is because I kind of like it. Probably the best way to reach me is on Twitter, PhpRunner.
Yeah, perfect. Hey, then thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fun.
Thank you for taking part in this NeverEmployed Chat. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more interviews with business owners and investors, or simply listen to the audio version in your favorite podcast directory. Make sure to follow me on all your preferred social media platforms, so that you never miss life-changing business tips. You find me on every platform with the account name samhartmann.com. Start a business, become successful, and tell me about it. See you next time.